Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon video. Today I'm going to be talking about the new move tutors that were just leaked for Ultra Sun and Moon. If you don't want spoilers, I highly suggest you don't watch this video. But anyways, we're going to be going over basically what the 7th gen Pokemon get as far as move tutors are concerned, which is something that I always look forward to when they release the second game of each generation. I still don't know why they have to do that, but whatever. And the other thing also is we're going to go over the Alolan Pokemon as well that get move tutors now, because that's the main reason why I didn't want to make Alolan moveset videos, because I knew they were going to get very similar things to what they had already, but I didn't want to assume that and then have to remake the videos. So anyways, I'll just go first going through the moves. Getting Bug Bite, Covet, Super Fang, always really cool, Dual Chop, Signal Beam, Iron Head, very cool that a lot of things will get that now for fairy coverage. Seed Bomb, Drill Run, Bounce, Low Kick, Gunk Shot, also really cool for fairy coverage. We got all the punches, Uproar, Magicoat. This one though is very interesting to me, Block, because this hasn't been a move that has been really widely distributed for a very long time. And there's a lot of things that could possibly Perish Trap with this now, which is really cool. I guess I like seeing that. Seeing Earth Power, Foul Play, Gravity, Magnetize, all this stuff is pretty standard. And we'll see what can make use of this now as a result of having it, but Gravity is always really fun to play around with, and Foul Play can be cool on some Pokemon that don't really have a good attacking stat. But Icy Wind is here. That's good for doubles, if it wasn't originally there for other gens. Also Hyper Voice, Dragon Pulse, and Headbutt, Aqua Tail. Iron Tail is back again. Bind, for some reason. I don't know why this is ever even used as a move. Knockoff, though, is always obviously, the one that people look forward to getting most because it's knockoff. I don't need to say more about that. Synthesis can also be very cool for Pokemon that did not have access to recovery that were grass types before. Heat Wave, good for doubles. Heal Bell can be cool to see too. Tailwind Sky Attack being back is also really awesome for Flying EMZ specifically, I guess, but otherwise you probably won't really see it. Pain Split's good to see. The Drain moves are good to see for Pokemon that didn't have those before. Focus Punch, also really good. Shockwave, Water Pulse, Technician moves, I guess, if you want to call them that. Trick can be cool to see what we'll get that. Endeavor, Outrage, Recycle, Snatch. This is actually particularly interesting to me because Snatch, or Z-Snatch in particular, increases your speed by 2 stages. So some Pokemon that get this can actually now have a setup move, which is really cool. Obviously Stealth Rock, going to be an important move for any Pokemon that gets it, and even more importantly, Defog is now a tutor move again, which is really good because a lot of Pokemon could not use Defog with their Dreamworld abilities, meaning that stuff like Multiscale Dragonite can now use Defog, and even more importantly, at least in my mind, Gliscor can now use Defog with Poison Heal, which is really cool. So that's awesome. And then also seeing Liquidation and Stomping Tantrum on here are good, just seeing what else gets these for things that didn't get really Waterfall or Earthquake, possibly, and Throat Chop and Laser Focus are there too, but not as notable. But anyways, let's just kind of go through the Pokemon a little bit for the 7th gen. Starting with the Decidueye, it getting Synthesis. I don't know if it had that before, but I think it already had Roost. Maybe it didn't. I don't know, one or the other, but it gets Recovery if it didn't have it. Sky Attack is new for it too, so really powerful flying type move that I could use. I'm not sure if it got Giga Drain before. I assume that it would have, but I don't know. But now it gets it, so that's great. And also it already had Defog, but I guess it's now easier to get or something. I don't really know. But Spite's also kind of cool on it too. Also Incineroar, going through these, right? Getting Dual Chop, Iron Head, Low Kick, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Superpower, Knockoff, so pretty much Darkest Lariat is now completely useless, because you have Knockoff, which is just the better option, always. Heat Wave, cool for doubles for this guy. Drain Punch, Focus Punch, could definitely make use of those. Outrage, and Stomping Tantrum, I don't know if it got Earthquake before, and also has Throat Chop, which is kind of cool, but anyways, it getting Snatched is what I was talking about. So, previously, I don't think Incineroar had a real good way of boosting its speed for a sweeping set, so now you can run Z-Snatch and boost its speed, so that's really cool. Primarina, it really doesn't get much else new, it gets Icy Wind, so that's kind of cool for doubles. I think it already learned Hyper Voice. Iron Tail can kind of be cool. Liquidation, though, that's also a neat option, too, potentially. I don't know why you'd run a physical set on this thing, though, but it's there. Toucanon now gets Gunk Shot. I think it already had Seed Bomb, but I could be wrong about that. Or it learned Bullet Seed, so it didn't need Seed Bomb. It gets Gunk Shot. It gets I think I already learned Hyper Voice too, or I got Boom Burst, so you don't need Hyper Voice. Getting Knockoff is very cool. Heat Wave is very cool. Tailwind, I think I already had that, but Sky Attack and Defog are also really cool for this guy. If you want to run like a Flying EMZ set with Sky Attack, that's really cool. It's a little bit of a better option than Beak Blast or whatever else it gets is like the main flying type move that it learns. I can't remember. But Defog also being on it is cool. Gumshoes gets a lot of type coverage, so that's good for this guy because this thing really struggles to even be used at all. But it gets Super Fang as well. It gets all the punches. Having access to Sonic Tantrum is cool, but I think I already learned Earthquake. But it's just kind of a cool little neat thing that it gets. Vikavolt getting Iron Defense with its bulk. I don't know. It's an interesting Pokemon because it has a good typing and Levitate for like bulkiness. I guess it can take hits pretty decently. So getting Iron Defense could be good with Roost or something like that. Just kind of brainstorming, obviously. But nothing else it really gets is that notable. Crabominable got a ton of good stuff. So all this right there, all the punches, gets Thunder Punch now, which is boosted by Iron Fist. It gets Drain Punch, Focus Punch, so this is really good for this Pokemon. Surprisingly, it doesn't get Knockoff. I find that very annoying, but anyways. Oricorio gets Defog. Tailwind, Icy Wind, that's really cool for this Pokemon. I'm wondering if that applies to all versions of it. That'll be interesting to see. I'll have to take a look at that maybe. If there's other, I think there's another like list of Oricorios. It also gets Sky Attack. I guess that's kind of cool. Rabombi getting Defog is really cool. Gets a couple of Psychic moves. It gets Trick here, so that could be cool in a choice set, and then like set up kind of thing, like Trick a Choice Specs or something, and then set up with Quiver Dance or something. Could be an option. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Rockruff and Lycanroc. I'll get to more on this later because there's like the other versions of Lycanroc. But it does get Iron Head now, which is cool. It does get Drill Run now, which is very cool because this Pokemon previously did not have Earthquake. So this is amazing for it. It also gets, notably, Stealth Rock, which is awesome. Wishy-Washy getting a couple of other, like, it gets Endeavor. I don't know if it didn't have this before, but I guess that's the most notable thing. But Toxapex, being a little bit more annoying now, has access to Block. I don't know if it got Gunk Shot before, but that's cool. But I guess most notably, it now gets Knockoff, which makes it even better than it was before. So that's very, very cool to see for this Pokemon, in terms of what it gets. Mudsdale gets Stealth Rock. That's really cool. This Pokemon I really like, but it's just like, it has a few, you know, like weaknesses that don't really allow it, mainly its type coverage, to be that good. But yeah, it gets that now, so that's cool. I think most of these other moves it also already got, except for Endeavor, maybe. Iron Head might be new, but I think I remember making a video and including Iron Head on that. But Araquanid, most notably getting Iron Defense, and I think this is particularly interesting because this Pokemon is very bulky. It's got the 132 base special defense, so it makes it even more bulky, even bulkier. It also gets Giga Drain. That's really neat and different, and I think it already learned Liquidation, so that's pretty cool. And Water Pulse could be an option if you want to shoot for Confusion because of Water Bubble. I don't really know, but it's an option, I guess. Lurantis now getting Superpower and Dual Chop is very interesting, and Knockoff, it gets some good coverage. This Pokemon just really struggles to like be that great. But as far as special attacks are concerned, it now gets Signal Beam, so that's cool. So you can use that with Contrary and Leaf Storm. I don't know if it had Synthesis before. I also don't know if it had Giga Drain before, but I definitely knew it did get Defog. I'm pretty sure it did. So that's not different. Shiinotic looks pretty much the same to me. I don't see anything notable on that, so I'll skip that. Salazzle, I will talk about this because I think this Pokemon can now be very good in doubles specifically because it now gets Heat Wave. I'm pretty sure it didn't get that before, so that's really cool. It also gets Knockoff now. It already had Dragon Pulse, but Foul Play can be cool, and Gunk Shot, I guess, is kind of cool, even though it's a special attacker, but kind of cool. Oh, and it also now has a way to double its speed because it has Snatch, so Z-Snatch can make it very fast. Beware now gets all the punches, or the 2 punches that are important. Oh, it doesn't get Fire Punch. I guess that makes sense because of Fluffy. That does make sense. But it does get Iron Head, so now it's a good way of dealing with fairies. This Pokemon is just good in general. Drain Punch, I don't know if it had that before, and Focus Punch now is, you know, super powerful, so we could have access to that move. I have to go quickly through this because this only has to be 15 minutes long, so I apologize if it seems like I'm skipping ahead very fast. Serena getting knockoff, very cool. I don't know if it had synthesis before, but now it has it, so it can allow a bulky set to be more useful. It does get bounce, that's pretty cool too, and also Seed Bomb, but it has its own signature move, but getting Zen Headbutt could be good for dealing with poison types. I don't know if it had a reliable way to do that before, so that's really good. Comfey gets Synthesis, I think it already had that, but it gets Heal Bell now, I think it already had Aromatherapy. Gets Tailwind, don't know if it had that. It does get Defog, that's kind of over here, so maybe you didn't see that, but that's really good for Comfey. It does get Trick too, so that's also really good for this thing, so very cool stuff. If I'm missing anything, by the way, let me know in the comments, because I'm just kind of scanning through this. Oranguru, or Oranguru, I never knew how to say that. Getting Block is kind of cool. Foul Play, I think I already had that. Gravity, always love seeing that. Knockoff, yay. Trick, I think I got that before too. But getting Snatch is very good, because now this Pokemon can be used outside of Trick Room, which is cool. So I like that. I like seeing that. Passimian, thank God, got Seed Bomb and Gunk Shot, meaning that it doesn't have the most shallow move pool of any physical attacking fighting type in the world anymore. So Gunk Shot, particularly useful for fairies, obviously. That's bizarre that it gets Electro Web, and it also gets Knockoff. So this Pokemon definitely opened up an ability, like it's now, I think, competitive in terms of using this or Primeape or Sawk, like they're all kind of similar roles. So that's cool, and it already got Snatch, I think. I remember making a set with that. Golisopod, getting all these moves is very interesting. Iron Head, Drill Run, Knockoff, Pain Split. That's kind of interesting. So it has Recovery now. Endeavor can be cool. So yeah, all those interesting moves. Palossand gets Stealth Rock. That's the biggest thing. That's really the only thing this Pokemon was missing to really hold it back from being really good. Now it is competitive with Golurk in terms of the typing and everything. It gets Block, Pain Split, Giga Drain. I think it got those before. Didn't really need them though. Pyukumuku gets 2 moves now, a couple moves. I mean, it still doesn't really help this Pokemon out in being any more useful than it is, because now that you can't Baton Pass, its main role really is gone, which kind of sucks. I guess Block with like Innards Out could be interesting. Like it forces your opponent to do damage to you, so that's neat. If it's going to one-shot you or something. Type Null gets a couple of interesting things, but more specifically, Silvally getting... any coverage move that Silvally gets means that it no longer has to run multi-attack to use that, so like getting Iron Head, it doesn't have to use Steel version of multi-attack, so I guess that's kind of cool. But getting Hyper Voice is a big deal, because it's a little bit more powerful than Tri-Attack, so you can use that for doubles. Heat Wave as well, really cool. Outrage, and it gets Defog. That's really bizarre, but very cool. So I approve of that. Then we get into Minior, getting Iron Head. That's kind of funny, and good for coverage. It gets Stealth Rock now. That's good. Very good for it. Gives it some more utility outside of just Shell Smashing. So it could set up rocks and then Shell Smash, so that's pretty cool. Kamala, getting Knockoff, really good. Zen Headbutt, also pretty good. Superpower, all these good moves. Yeah, it's just good coverage for all these normal types. Turtonator, getting Iron Head, Uproar, Block. It doesn't really get Recovery though. It didn't get Pain Split. So this Pokemon's still relatively the same. I guess maybe like Heat Wave and like a Trick Room team or something for doubles. I really don't know. Togedemaru, you get Super Fang now, and that's amazing because this Pokemon is very interesting in how it can function. It can just like basically work with Iron Barbs and like do all sorts of stuff. So now you can have HP. Also gets Iron Head. Thank God it gets this, by the way, because now it actually has a decent physical steel attack. Hooray! This Pokemon isn't garbage anymore. Bounce is really cool for it too. Zen Headbutt. Oh, it gets Iron Tail too, even better. So yay, this Pokemon is actually significantly better than it was, and Endeavor is cool too, so that's fantastic. It is now better than some of the other Pikachu clones. Mimikyu gets a new Z move, maybe you've seen that already, but also getting Giga Drain, Drain Punch, that's neat, and Trick could be cool for it too. Also Snatch to double its speed if it wants to go that route. Actually, I think I can maybe break this video up into 2 parts, so if I don't finish, it'll maybe be a little bit longer. I'll get to Bruxish, and then I'll continue on. I'll pause for a sec, so bear with me as that happens. But Bruxish getting Aqua Tail, Iron Tail, all these are, it's a physical attacker, so I guess these are really the only moves that matter. And Liquidation, that's actually neat for it too. So anyways, I'll get to Drampa in just a second, so I'll go ahead and pause the video. And Alright, sorry, really bad edit because I'm bad with computers. So, I think I was in Drampa. Is that where I was? Alright, so Drampa gets defog now. It also gets a lot more coverage. This thing had insane coverage already, so now it can do even more. But getting Tailwind is also really cool. Even with its low speed stat, it still can possibly allow this Pokemon to sweep a little bit easier. Possibly, I don't know, it's just an option there. Getting Icy Wind is kind of cool too. But Delmise getting Block is funny, because it already has like the Steel move that does the exact same thing. But it gets Knockoff and Synthesis now, which I think are big for this thing, because this is a pretty bulky Pokemon. So now it'll be an even better Rapid Spinner than it already is. Sorry, if you hear random, like, sounds, it's my cat pawing at my bed. And it gets Giga Drain, I guess that's kind of cool too. But that's really neat for this thing. Komo-o getting Iron Head, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, that's cool. This thing didn't have a good fire move before, so that's really nice. Getting all the punches, or I guess are the benefit of being a fighting type. So this thing actually now looks a lot more threatening than it was previously. It also gets Focus Punch and Drain Punch. That's really cool if it didn't get that before. So yeah. And Stealth Rock. This thing is going to have a lot of good utility now, at least different than normal. So that's really cool for it. Tapu Koko gets Iron Head, Thunder Punch, so it doesn't have to run Wild Charge, I guess. That's kind of cool. Hyper Voice, Sky Attack, that's new. It doesn't have to run Brave Bird if it doesn't want to. And it gets Defog, so that's cool. Tapu Lele looks pretty much exactly the same. I don't really notice anything on here that's of note. I guess Iron Defense, maybe with, like, Calm Mind. I don't know, some wacky, like, double boosting set. But by that point, you've already ran out your Psychic terrain anyway, so I don't know why you would do that. But Gravity could be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know if it learns any, like, incredibly inaccurate moves. Tapu Bulu getting Dual Chop actually is very cool because it didn't have a Fairy move to hit dragons, and now it has a Dragon move to hit dragons if it didn't have that before, so that's neat. Synthesis also on it, being on it is very cool, as well as Giga Drain, because that's boosted by Grassy Terrain, and Focus Punch, so you can run that instead of Superpower. Is that even more powerful? I don't actually know if those two Z moves do the same amount of damage, but usually I see Superpower with, like, fighting EMZ to kill Ferrothorn, so that's interesting. Tapu Fini gets Ice Punch, that's kind of cool. It also gets Knockoff now, so it's even more of a good, like, support poke with Defog and all that good stuff, and Haze. It also gets Trick, so that's cool. That's good additions to it. Solgaleo, Superpower, Zen Headbutt, I think I already had that. Anything that this thing gets is really beneficial. It gets Knockoff, because this thing has really bad type coverage. I remember this specifically not being the best. So Knockoff is, I guess, particularly useful in Ubers, because there's so many Psychic types, so that's cool. Lunala gets Defog now. That's neat. And it also gets Heat Wave. That's cool. And Tailwind. That's actually really interesting. And Trick. Look at that. A lot of good moves for Lunala. That's great. Continues to be the significantly better legendary of this generation. By far. Nihilego, excuse me. Can't pronounce things. Gets Knockoff, which is kind of cool, I guess. It gets Pain Split, so it can recover some HP now, which it couldn't do before. I think it already had Stealth Rock. If it didn't, it now gets it, but I'm pretty sure it did. Buzzwole gets some good punches. Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, if it didn't have those already. Getting Superpower. Drain Punch, though, is really good for this Pokemon because, specifically, it can now run Drain Punch with, Leech Life, so it gets double recovery with that. That's really cool. And getting Bounce is pretty cool as well, I guess. It's got some good coverage moves. I'm sure those will come into play at some point. Pheromosa, just gets even more things to make it really, really, really good. Sorry, background noise is my cats, if you hear anything weird in the background. What else do we got? Zergatree gets Thunder Punch. Neat. Signal Beam, I don't know if it had that before, so that's kind of cool. But it looks relatively the same. I guess Magnetizer Gravity is new, but interesting in some way. Celesteela gets Iron Head. It doesn't get Defog or Stealth Rock. That's weird. I feel like that's wrong. Did it get Giga Drain before? I don't know if it did. But that's cool too, I guess. And it gets Block. That could actually be really interesting. This Pokemon's so bulky. Oop, my cat just knocked something over. You can ignore that. They're the worst. Okay. Zen Headbutt's also cool for coverage. Kartana, Knockoff. Cool. Did it get, I think it had Synthesis before. I think it's Tailwind now too, which is even better. That's actually really good. Help the, Beast Boost train go faster than ever before, I guess, so that's neat. So that's really cool for it. Guzzlord just gets a bunch of moves. I guess Iron Head is most notable to deal with fairies, but knockoff, obviously, because dark type. But that's pretty cool, I guess, for it. This Pokemon just, like, has a bunch of random stats. Like, it's a bizarre Pokemon. I don't really know what to make of it. Necrozma has a bunch of random coverage moves now, too, I guess. It gets knockoff now if it didn't have that before. It gets Stealth Rock if it didn't have that before. Obviously, this gets new forms, so we'll see how that pans out. And then Pain Split, Heal Bell, Signal Beam on Magearna, that's neat. And then Marshadow gets, I don't want to go too far because that's the name of a new Pokemon, you can ignore that. Gets Drain Punch if it didn't have that before, but Marshadow already had like the best type coverage ever, which is why I got like insta-banned. But anyways, if I go and find Raichu real quick, actually it's Raticate I think is the first one. These are the Alolan forms that I was talking about. So Raticate Alolan form now gets Super Fang and Zen Headbutt and Iron Tail and Knockoff and all this good stuff. Throat Chop, that's cool too. It gets decent fighting move. That's pretty cool. Raichu, does this get Trick Room? Wait, no, it would have already gotten that if it didn't. What does it get? Thunder Punch. Knockoff, okay, that's gonna go Focus Punch. So it's getting like a lot of the Pikachu or already move tutor moves that it had from its previous form, so that's kind of cool. Sand Slash, Alolan gets Super Fang and Iron. Oh, it already had that. Drill Run, that's really good. Aqua Tail, Knockoff, Focus Punch, Stealth Rock, all really good for this guy. I love this Pokemon. It's one of my favorite Alolans. Ninetales gets Foul Play. That can be kind of cool. Icy Wind can be good for doubles. Actually, it already gets Blizzard, so I don't know why I would need that. But Heal Bell, that's good. And Pain Split, so it can actually make use of a defensive set a lot easier. So you can actually run Aurora Veil with Pain Split. Oh, that's so good. Why is that so good? That's awesome. That's amazing. Okay. I could even just see a set of just like Pain Split, Heal Bell, Aurora Veil, and Blizzard. Oh, that's so good. Alright. Persian gets Seed Bomb, Gunk Shot, already had Foul Play. Icy Wind, Hyper Voice, Knockoff. Alright, that's good for a physical set. These are good for a Technician set. Shockwave, Water Pulse. Galactic gets those again. It gets Snatch too, so I can double its speed if it's already really fast. So that's cool. Golem gets Thunder Punch, Fire Punch. That's really good. Iron Head, I think that's new too. Magnet Rise. I think I already got that though, actually. But Focus Punch, Stealth Rock. Okay, I don't know if it could get Stealth Rock already, but now it definitely does. Muck gets all the punches and Gunk Shot and Knockoff. And Pain Split, hey. So that's really good. That'll help it out a lot. Exeggutor. Okay, so this Pokemon I really like. So this now gets Iron Head, Seed Bomb, Low Kick, Super Power, Zen Headbutt, Iron Tail, Knockoff. I don't know if it has Synthesis already, but now it gets it. Outrage, if you don't want to use the other dragon move that it gets. Dragon Hammer, or whatever it's called. So that's really cool. Alright, I like that a lot. And then Marowak. Why is it showing 2 Marowaks? Why would it show 2 Marowaks? It looks exactly the same. That's weird. Okay. Well, Marowak now gets Thunder Punch and Fire Punch and Earth Power. All these good moves. But it gets Pain Split now, more specifically, and this Pokemon really needed this, because this is typically used as like a defensive Pokemon now, which is awesome. It also gets Knockoff and Heat Wave, that's pretty cool. And it gets Stealth Rock, but I think I already got that. Oh, my cat is meowing so much. Alright. Greninja, does that get anything new? Oh, these are just like the other forms of some of the other Pokemon. Okay, that's what we're looking at. Alright, so that's pretty much it, I guess. I don't know if there's anything I missed here. Oh, wait, Doug Trio, okay. Doug Trio now gets Stealth Rock, and that's a big deal because it didn't have that before. So that's really good. Alright. Yeah, and this is just like stuff, like other forms or something like that. I don't, why are there 5 Pikachus? Oh, maybe these are like the ones that are like the dancing ones and whatnot. Okay. I'm not sure what all this other stuff is here at the end, but I guess, hey, that's pretty cool. Alright. So anyways, everybody, that is pretty much it. For these guys. I guess I will, see how these things go. I might make another video for older Pokemon that got changed a bit, but that's pretty much it for move tutors, everybody. So feel free to look through the list. I'll post a link, I'm sure, in the description so you can look through yourself. But yeah, comment on your favorite stuff, favorite changes, and let me know what you think. But anyways, everybody, that's it for this video. So always, As always, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time. Enjoy.